Alright, so welcome in, guys. I am just trying to get myself shared where I need to be. If I can first find myself. Find this. And get myself shared into the group. So welcome in, everybody. It is Crafter's Choice today. So I hope that everybody has had an awesome day. And hopefully I can find myself. So, welcome in, everybody. Hi, Miss Amy. How are you doing, dear? Alright. So, it's been a fun day. And thank you to everybody who has come and, you know, crafted, hung out with each other. I appreciate it. So, I'm going to turn you guys down so you can see what I'm going to work on. We're actually going to work on making some tags. I have an upcoming raid train that is steampunk themed, so we're going to make some tags for that, because I need to work on having a few more items made. So y'all are going to join me for that process. How does that sound? So Miss MJ just finished up with Gmaw's workshop, so make sure that if you missed her, or Miss Susan, or Miss Renee, you know, if you've missed anybody, please go back and check them out. That way you can give everybody a follow. So we're gonna make these, I'm thinking 3 inches. Do I want to make them 3 inches? Maybe 3 1/4. Oh, hey, Miss Patty. How are you doing? My creative memories. Right, that's the one that I'm using now. Only because my regular one, the blade kept on coming off, and I went to go put it up on my little area for my boards, and it flew into my pile of doom over here, and I don't know where the blade is, so I can't even use it. So I can't use it even if I wanted to. So I'm using this one, but I like this one because it does have like all of the different things. It just doesn't have how to score, which is a little frustrating for me. So I'm trying to figure out and find a find something that is gonna have the cutting measurements and a good blade or blade options, and that I can, you know, that it's a scoreboard. Because I mean, I'm starting to understand why when you look at scrapbookers, they had one thing for scoring and one thing for cutting, but I'm like, y'all, that's too much. There's gotta be an option where you can have both. So that's what I'm hoping I can figure out. Let's start with those two, and I'm trying to see how tall I want to make them. Well, if it's a 12 by 12, we can do these at 6 And see, I don't like having to do this. That frustrates me. So but here we are, and I am making some tags that I'll have for the everything all geared up Ray Train, which is all dark steampunk type vibes, that I will be co-hosting on Saturday. So definitely, if you guys are over there, come and check us out. I'll be kickstarting us off, and then I'll be closing us off. No, I won't be closing us off. I will be, I think I'm on like at around 4 or something like that. Man, right now, I can't remember my left from my right. Well, that's any day, but I really can't. I can't keep my head straight lately, so I'm going to try to trim these down. So these ones here, honestly, I'm going to use these more for the image than I am anything else, which is why I'm not too worried. I'm just trying to take off some of the excess so I don't have a whole lot that I need to cut around. Okay. But yeah, that trimmer was not cheap at all. So it's not one I'm going to be letting go anytime soon. That's for sure. Alright, so we're going to try to trim off our train and our clock and things of that nature. So how has everybody been? I hope everybody has been well. It's the middle of the week. So yes, I know. Her and me have the same problem. So she told me that whenever I can figure out which one doesn't do that, to let her know. Because I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know why. Mine is the We Are Memory Keeper one, and it just, them blades do not stay in. I don't know what it is. They do not stay in. And I like having my 12 by 12 scoring so that when I am working with larger pieces of paper and everything, that I can, you know, go ahead and score and cut, and I don't have to be swapping out stuff. Hey, Miss Susan. How are you doing, dear? So, still trying to figure that out. Like I said, I bought that Creative Memories one over a year ago. But I don't use it as often, like I said, because if not, I'd have to have a separate scoreboard, which to me, that does not make sense when I had the, you know, the one that opened up and did everything. So, oh well. I'll end up figuring it out. You have a sinus headache. That's not good. You're starving? Well, tell him he needs to hurry it up then. Yeah, sinus headaches are not fun at all. But are you taking something for your sinuses? Because if you're not clearing up those sinuses, you're just going to keep on having those pressure headaches. No, Luna, you were just outside. No. You were already outside. I can understand not taking stuff on an empty stomach because it will mess with you. That's why normally in the mornings, like, I'll take my meds if I know that I am, you know, running out the door and I'm gonna grab something. So then I really don't mind, but if not, I try. I mean, hubby got used to, he'd bring me my meds and bring me some saltines or something because I had to have something at the same time. Like, I can't just not, you know. Alright, so there's 2 different trains in these printables. And obviously they're not like realistic trains. I think these were like, probably somebody generated them with AI, but they're still really cool, and they'll serve their purpose for what I want, which is just to give me that, you know, steampunky look. Because yeah, that is definitely, I've never seen a train that has 4 axles this way. That definitely don't happen. I don't think there's anywhere in the world where there's 4 tracks laying down. But it's alright. He'll be alright. So hubby had his appointment today, and you know, and I understand that we'll be doing a lot of like follow-ups and just, you know, pretty much like, hey, how are you doing? Is, you know, is there anything new? Is there something we can do? Blah 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 blah. But I told him when we left, I'm like, I'm really frustrated because I feel like they're just like really like not doing much, and it's frustrating. Hi there, Miss Susan. How are you doing, dear? It's frustrating because it's like, and I get it. I get it that it's the brain, and I get it that we never really 100% know, but like, y'all just, I don't know. I don't have the biggest faith in doctors just because I've seen them drop the ball with me so many darn times, you know, and I'm used to being brushed off for my stuff because, you know, since you don't look disabled, you know, since you don't look like you're in pain because you're not rolling around on the floor or something, it's hard for them to believe you. Hey, Miss Marsha, how you doing, dear? Thank you for being in the event today, sweetie. I'm glad you were able to be part of it. I don't know what happened with Miss Vicky, but I noticed that even in some other groups that tagged her for some stuff and she hadn't responded. So I don't know if she's okay. I don't know if there was an issue with her account because somebody was saying something about that. So I don't know what's going on with her, but I hope everything's okay. That's the whole reason why we had the intermission earlier. So I just pray that she is okay. That's always my pleasure. Always my pleasure for y'all to be part of these events that I am honored to host. I really do appreciate y'all very, very much. So, y'all, I am definitely not the fastest person cutting. So, forgive me on that end. I'm still trying to get better organized so that I know where all of my stuff is, so make a lot of these events easier. That way I'll know and I'll have everything, you know, somewhat gathered together. Because at least that's how I'm trying to organize my room, is I'm trying to put everything together by theme, so that, let's say, like, if we have let's say I want to work on something steampunk, I can go and pull all you know, grab a box or two that all of that's steampunk. So papers, stickers, whatever, right? So that is what I am trying to do. It is proving to not to be the easiest task, but I know that in my brain, having all like items by theme tends to work the best. So that is why I'm trying to organize in that fashion. That and color coding. Themes and colors. Those tend to be like the best ways for me to organize stuff. And then usually by size. So. But again, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. And I love that you love being in my events. It really does make my heart happy, Miss Susan. 'Cause my soul, you're my soul. Alright, so let's start working with these two guys that we already have cut out. And let's see which of these backgrounds is gonna work. I think like the best. And then I do want to actually put like some of my gears on it and stuff, so it actually has like that look. Now these papers came from an older pad, and the gears actually have, I don't know if you guys can see, they have like this gloss on them. You see that? Which is quite interesting. They're that DCWV brand. But I don't want to put this on and then cover up all of the gears, so I think I might end up doing something like this one here, and we can add stuff there. Now this one's a little bit smaller, but I still feel like it kind of covers, it would work there because we'd still have enough of the gears sticking out, right? I think it would work good here because we'd have enough of the gears, well, of this clock that sticks out. So if I do this one here, it covers pretty much all of it. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this one here, and I might trim some of it off, which is totally fine. And then this one, we're gonna put it over here. So I'm gonna start gluing that down. Miss Wendy. Hello, 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 dear. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. I pray that y'all are having a blessed Wednesday and that this hump day is finding y'all in good health, or at least as well as can be expected, because, you know, we're getting old, so we have our issues, don't we? They did put, the doctor did tell Gare that he wants him taking vitamin D. So he'll be taking vitamin D. And not because he's low or anything, just because it says so many people tend to be deficient of it. Plus it'll help, I don't know, with something. So we'll do that. There's really not much that they're doing other than that, which is frustrating. Like I said, it's just frustrating, you know. Oh, really? She graduated? Oh my gosh. Well, soak it up and enjoy it, Grandma, because as you very well know, it don't last long. Before you know it, them sweet girls are all gonna be all grown up. I know, I'm like, oh my god, my child is, you know, we went to our therapist and they're like, you know, do you have an advance directive? And them explaining to her what that is for it to be on file, and, you know, she has to sign now the responsibility stuff, and I'm like, not like the child ever, you know, not like she's gonna pay for it right now. But I told her, I was like, that's part of what happens when you become an adult. Thank you for the prayers. I really do appreciate it, because it is definitely needed and very well received, because I know that the only one that really knows what's going on is the great physician, our Father. I mean, he made us, so he knows. You know, where these doctors are guessing, because that's really what they're doing. You know, my experience with doctors are that they are the highest paid fortune tellers in the world. Just saying. Oh, yay, you got to. That is awesome. You got to see the little baby. Oh, that is so good. I wish they'd let you see him some more, though. Okay, so we've got these two right here. Because they will be tags and all that, I am going to go ahead and we'll do the tops. you know, I always tell people that prayer is our form of communication with the Father. So, you know, you'll find myself many times when I'm by myself in a car just talking away. And I'm talking to him, because who knows me better than him? And your quiet time with the Lord can be anywhere. Anywhere, anytime. You know. So, whenever I'm trying to do my, and I want it to be somewhat symmetric, I take this corner and I flip it over to give me, you know, somewhat of an edge on where I need to cut. And you can do this with your scissors. You could, I'm just showing you today that you can also do it with your trimmer. So it can be done with either or. Now I did these very steep. I think the next one I'm not going to do as steep. I don't know why I did those so steep. That makes no sense of why I did them like that. So take my corner, flop it over, line it up. And this one does, you know, I can see where I'm lining things up to make sure that it's going to cut right where I need it to cut. All I have to do is line things up. So it is hard. Oh yeah, no, I'm saying, like, if I'm going somewhere, like to a doctor's appointment or something, like, no. Get out to just go joyriding? Not really. Because yes, I agree. Prices are utterly ridiculous right now for all kinds of stuff. Now, where did my little brown go? Where did my brown go? There's my brown. I needed my brown. Okay. This piece might be a little too big. Let's see if I have maybe a smaller scrap that we could use to add a little bit of lace to this, because if you know, you know. We love to have lace on our stuffs. Oh, I have some coffee dyed lace. That'll work. I'll use my coffee dyed lace. Hello, sister. How are you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for being on here today and helping to fill in. I really do appreciate that so much. Okay. Now I'm actually going to cut this down, and I've got like these little, maybe about 2-inch squares or something. I'm going to keep these because I want to make some little clusters so that we can put on here. They're probably a little too big and I might need to cut them down a little. And then I have this black lace here, and we can use some of it. Same thing, cut about, you know, just enough to kind of like lay it over. So it doesn't have to be perfect. But what I meant by the driving is that, you know, sometimes when people start talking about their relationship with the Lord, they make it sound like you have to, you know, like carve out this specific time and you have to like do all these specific things, and if it's not like the right whatever, you know, you can't talk to God because it's not perfect. You know, and my thing is, no, that's not true, because at the end of the day, you know, our Father just wants us to talk to him. So, you know, he doesn't expect us to make this big ceremonial thing. Nothing, again, nothing wrong. If you can do it, great. If you can, like, you know, wake up 30 minutes before your day starts and, you know, do this, do that, that's perfect. But, like, I know in my case, like, I have found that for me, I tend to have my closest moments with him just whenever. Anytime. I don't always check the groups, but then God pointed me to the chat. Yes! See, I told you. He's always there looking for us. He's always looking out. Yeah, because I reached out to Carla, and I knew it was her birthday today, and I was like, I know it's your birthday, but this is also usually the time that you go live. By any chance? And she's like, I'm going out to eat with my kids. I was like, oh, heck no, you go eat out with your kids. They want to spoil you, you go. Because, they're not always like that with her. So, I really wanted her to enjoy all of that. So, I am so... just gonna pull a few different, like, odds and end things in here. I think I had... yeah, here we go. A gothic-y style lady. I'm gonna use her. I have that one as well. So, alright. Not quite sure yet what I'm gonna do exactly with those ones. Let's work with this one over here for a little bit. I want to do some overlay on this. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kind of work it here on the corner. Of course. Oh yeah, definitely. I will reach out for sure, my dear, because yeah, and obviously if you've got an event going, like, duh. It's like, usually if I'm not in your event, it's because I'm running an event. That's half the times how it works out. So I think the only other events that happen on Wednesdays, at least that I know of, are Miss Tanya's, but I haven't been in one of hers in a while. They just always keep on coinciding with either mine or one that I'm already signed up with, so. I know for a bit there, Miss Aimee was doing some on Wednesdays, but now it's on Thursdays, which works out really good. So I am just creating layers here with different things. And then we'll come back and we'll trim everything up. And believe it or not, what we don't use on this, we might use on another one. So now this might be a little bit difficult for it to stick because it is right where the edge is. So I'm just gonna help it along with my little tweezy thingy there. So I don't know. Most of the ones that I see her do are on, Miss Tanya, are on Wednesdays. Or at least those are always the ones that I tend to see. And now that I don't teach on Mondays, I actually am able to pick up some other events, like Miss Julie, who does events on Mondays. And Miss Aimee does events on Mondays. So now I can definitely more freely do those events. Because I'm not in school, so I'm not worried about that. Seriously? Y'all, when I was cutting this, there's a few layers of these doilies. Let me tell you, these paper doilies, you'll think that you've pulled them apart and realize you have not. How many more layers are there? No, that's the last one. Okay, so it was only 2. Yeah, Aimee does Mondays. Aimee does Mondays. Aimee does Mondays, and so I do some of her events on Mondays. Some of her events on Thursdays. And I get to do some of Miss Julie's events now. Alright, so I have this really cool PET sticker, and I think that's going to look really neat. And then I want to find like a gear or something to put there. So, and maybe instead of covering the 50, let's actually come this way with her. I'll do that. Aimee has some on Thursdays. Or when, I don't remember. Y'all, I just look at my calendar. If I've got space for it, I can, and I'm not in somebody else's event, I do it. I know that MJ does events Wednesdays and Fridays, so I definitely can do Fridays, because very few other people do events on Fridays, or at least that I know of. So I love PET tapes, because with the regular stickers I gotta like cut off the white, because it irks me that it gets annoying. It really does. It really does bother me. Yeah, of course, sweetie, go. Yeah, it really does bother me to have all of that like white line. She is gorgeous now, and she was actually gifted to me when I was on the crafting cruise. Her, and I have one in red. somebody had brought them and they got whiff that I liked dark, and so they were like, here, you want these stickers? They're kind of dark and goth, and I was like, yes please. So I came home. I wasn't gonna put them in my journal because it didn't go with the ocean theme, but I knew I'd end up using them eventually. Let me go grab a gear because I want to put some gears here. Ow. Ooh. Ouch. What is a PET sticker? So you have your regular type of stickers, okay, like these ones, right, that have the white, and when you pull them off they have the white background on them. A PET sticker, alright, is printed like on clear plastic. So when I take this off, what's on the edge is clear plastic. There's no white line to it. So you don't have the white line on your image. That's what PET. It stands for polyurethane something. It has to do with the composition of it. That much I know that has to do with its name. Ooh, look at matchy because it's green. I like that one actually even better. Maybe we'll match it with one of the small ones like that. Will it fit inside? Perfect. That's what we're doing. Okay. Now for this, I'm going to use, I guess I'll use this again. You could use E6000 for this if you wanted to, but Fabri-Tac works, or Fabrifix, or 3-in-1, whichever one of those you have. Of course, my friend, any time. Alright, obviously that's gonna need to, you know, it's gonna need to sit, but that's gonna look really cool. I'm gonna just put some extra pressure on it to hold it down while it glues. So we got the gears, we got the girl, we got some stuff going on. I really am liking that. I think that looks really good. Let's see what we can play around with this one over here. So I did bring this other lady out, but I am wondering now if I don't want to do something else with it. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Covering that a little bit. What if I actually trim this down some more? Let's see if I can trim this down. Put this on top. Yeah, let's put that on top like that. So yeah, so you have some people who don't mind like your regular stickers, and then there's those who, now that we have the option of the PET stickers or tape, instead of washi tape, there's PET tape, that honestly prefer those. And I mean, again, it's like anything, right? You can like things however you want to like things. That was fussy cutting. I really don't know. And they said, you're a crafter, you know. No. No, not everybody knows stuff. Not everybody is, that is the worst assumption ever. You know, okay. There is a saying, and my husband always, will remind the kids. What does assume mean? Assume means it makes an ass out of you and me. So if you assume that somebody knows something, you probably are dead wrong, because not everybody knows it. You know? And there's nothing wrong with asking, and there's nothing wrong with not knowing something. You know, we're not born knowing everything. That's why we're here. We're here to help each other out. And if somebody knows something that somebody else doesn't know, you know, I would hope that we would help each other out. But again, that is, maybe the person just really didn't know the answer. Sometimes I think that. Sometimes I think when people say, well, you know, well, first off, no, I don't know, and it's bad of you to assume that, but two, maybe you just don't know what you're talking about, or you don't know how to explain it. If I don't know it, I'm gonna say I don't know it, or it's new to me, or whatever. I just folded that instead of cutting it. I'm just saying. That is one of your favorite sayings. Yeah, you can't be assuming that people know everything. That's wrong. You know? It's like my son, he does plumbing, okay? But he does commercial plumbing. Just because he works in plumbing does not automatically mean that he knows how to do everything or knows everything. Like, me assuming is wrong. And if I ever asked him to fix something and he didn't know it, my assumption will probably end up costing me too much. So, I'm not even going to go there. You know what I mean? It's like, just because no. 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 Let's put a little gear there. Let's see if I have one that's small enough that will fit in this area. And okay, oh, see, that one would look cute right there. I think that one would look cute. Or I could put a smaller one still. No, don't be sorry. Why are you sorry? What are you sorry for? Don't be sorry. That's why I never assume that people know everything, because I don't know that you know it. You know, not everybody has the same experiences, so how can I expect others to know something? So see, just a little bit of paper and a few little things here and there, and we made some cute little tags. I'll end up, putting a brad up top, and then these will be part of my what do you call it? These will be part of what I'll have for sale on our steampunk gray train. In case if anybody's doing a journal and they want something to add, I think it'll be cute. And see, like right here we have the spotlight, so I can totally put some of my glossy accent on it, which I'm gonna go ahead and do right now, and that way it can make it nice and shiny. Ooh, I like that. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so this is, I'm gonna set this to the side so that that can cure, because that's gonna take a while, same as the glue that's holding those down. So I'm going to move these over here. Okay, our lady should be doing well. I'm just hyper, that's why I'm so funny tonight. Hey, it's okay. You'll just be my smarty pants friend, that's all. That'll be all. You'll just be the smarty pants friend, that's all. Do you guys think it would look nice if I added some of the lace here on the side, or should I just leave it off? What do you guys think? What do y'all think of that? Should we put some lace here on the side or not? And I can do either side. I could do just like this little very clear. Oh, I kind of like the one this side, because I can see the 50 still. You guys see what I'm talking about? Because I can still see the numbers underneath. If I do it on the side of the scallop, it's really dark and then you can't really see much. But I think I'm gonna go with doing it this way. The side looks good. Thank you, my super hyper friend. I love you, Miss MJ. I hope you know that. And do 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 do. There we go. Now that will dry, and then I'll trim that extra off. But that's kind of what the card would look like when it's finished. I think that's pretty neat onto itself. I might try and make like lines on the back of it so that it will actually turn into a journaling card. So this one won't be a tag, this will be more of a journaling card. A large journaling card. I think that'll be really nice. Put that over there. And then this one over here. I think if we add just a little bit of lace here at the bottom and then put the lady on top, it gives us just like another point of interest without taking away too awful much. Thank you, I appreciate it. Just trying to do some stuff because trying to have a few items made, because I was gonna come on last night and craft, but yeah, that didn't happen. And then I gotta go get my daughter from work, so while Miss Aimee is on, I'm going to go get her. I already told her that I was going to be running just a little bit behind to pick her up, because I was crafting from 6 to 7, and it takes about 15 minutes to get to her job. It never ends, does it? It never ends. Thank you. Alright, my friends, so I'm going to hop off. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to obviously trim this up. This spotlight is also going to get the our glossy accents. So we have this one, and this one that we've done. I think that's super cute. And then I'll figure out what I'm going to do with the last one that we cut out. Probably I'll do that after we eat. And I'll probably be watching you, Miss Jamie. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. I love you all so very much. Have a blessed rest of your week. It's the middle of the week. Thank you so much. I will